I was raped when I was 11, and I gave birth when I was 12. Now this is my story, and why I'm telling this story today, is because somebody said something. Now where the situation happened recently, where a girl accused a guy of forcing himself on her. So, but he did not penetrate actually. She was able to leave the place. Now, when the person was telling me this, it was like, how can the girl open her mouth and say that she was raped? That is she not ashamed of herself to say that kind of thing? That it is a shame on her. And I was just looking at him and I thought about myself. My story is a bit long, but I'm going to say it. Now, I was raped by my brother's friend, and he was a family friend. At that tender age, I came back from school. I was a federal girls, a girls' old school, federal girls Calabar. If the people who were in federal girls, my set, they will actually remember me. I was in JS1, the first JS1, after so many years. So, that day, when I came back, December for my first term, after my first term, when I came back for December holiday, my brother's friend raped me, and that was in his house actually. I don't really have the image because all I know was that I drank something, and when I woke up, I was feeling funny actually. I never told anybody. I never knew anything. I don't go to anybody's house except their house. That house. It was a close family friend. He comes to our house, and we actually go to his house. So that thing happened that day, and I did not tell anybody because I didn't really know what happened. Then I went back to school. I was a girl who just saw her menses, and I never know anything because I saw my menses. I think that was whether 10 years old, and then I just was managing it. So when I went back to school, my mom kept on asking me if I've seen my menses. I was telling her no because I was not asking her money to buy pad. So she was like, have you seen your menses? I'll tell her no. Have you seen your menses? I'll tell her no. And this happened until she came to visit me April. I think that was before my birthday. She came to visit me April. I don't know the date yet. When she came to visit me April, that was when she now noticed. She told me, she looked at me and then she saw that I was pregnant. I was actually feeling funny, but as a small girl at that time, I never knew. I was still 11 by that time. I had not yet clocked complete 12 years. I had not yet clocked complete 12 years. So she told me that I'm pregnant. I was like, how? Meaning that I don't go to anybody's house. That's the only person that I know that I went to that house. I told them that was so. And that day was the most miserable day of my life. That was the most miserable day. I can never forget it. It's like a replay on my head. I remember how that day we were walked out of the school. I mean, that day, that was the day my seniors in school, when I went to go and get my bag from the hostel, they saw me, they knew I was pregnant. And they were like, we can use hanger in removing the pregnancy, and nobody will know. That was what I was told. I just took my bag and left. And the whole school, you know how messages can pass? The whole school, everybody came out from the hostel. I've never been so embarrassed in my whole life. I was just crying. And I left. Never went back again. That was just one. Never went back again to that school. Just that day, in that school. If they come across this video, this is that girl that was embarrassed, shouted on. This is that girl. And that experience has shaped my life, motivation, and everything. It's just something that has happened. And today, my son will be 15 years this year. I'm 27 this year. How many years have passed, and I can never ever get the fact of the day I left that house where I was raped, the day I left that place, the school at JS1, when I found out I was pregnant in school. I can never. That was the end of my boarding school. I left that place, and I can never ever forget that experience. My life changed. I became a mother at the age of 12. I gave birth to my son at August 31st of 2011. I can never forget. And somebody will open his mouth and say, the shame is on the girl who opens her mouth to say somebody did this to her. The shame is on the girl. The person who got me pregnant was an adult. Yes, he was an adult. He was 18 years. He was an adult. I was just an 11-year-old girl. The person who took advantage of me, and somebody opened their mouth to say, I'm not, anyhow somebody wants to see me, it doesn't bother me right now. It doesn't affect me right now. Whether you see me as a damaged goods, because that is how they see people who are raped. But I'm telling that girl that is being raped, your life never ends. I'm a testimony. When I win my child, my mom sent me back to school. I started school back. I breastfeeded my son. I started school in JS3. I followed my mate. I followed my mate. My mom never let me be as if I was not with my age mate. I followed my mate, and I graduated. Today I'm a nurse, and I'm doing my second program as a nurse. If you want to use me as motivation, if something has happened to you of this sort, if you have been raped ever, use me as motivation. My life was not easy. I'm afraid of men. I will not lie. It's the truth. If somebody tells me come to your house, I have to talk to myself like 250 times in order to get the motivation to go to a guy's house to go and see the person. All because of what happened to me. Even up to now, I'm afraid. So your fear is valid, but you have to rise up from whatever has happened to you. That's what I did to myself. I rose up from whatever had happened to me, and today I'm a nurse. I built myself up. I never allowed what happened to me. I never allowed it. Some of my friends are now finding out where I went to school. They are now finding out recently that I have a son. I had a son while I was with them in school, till I graduated from secondary school. Some of them I just found out. One was like, "Are you serious? You have a son? How?" And she was my friend, though. She was my friend. I wish I could just tell a lot of girls, protect yourself.